I'm Mr. Connolly, and in this video I'm going to take a simplified look at tiered vocabulary instruction. Tiered vocabulary instruction is just a way that we use to group words to inform how we should teach them. The three groups that we use are listed on your screen. Tier 1 I call the spoken vocabulary. These are words that our students learn from conversation, and typically we do not need to provide instruction for these words in a general education setting. Tier 2 I call the reading vocabulary. Tier 2 words can have multiple meanings. Tier 2 words typically do not show up in casual conversation. And Tier 2 words show up across content areas. So these are words that we would read but not speak, and they're words that we could see potentially in an article in science class, English class, and history class. That's what separates those words from Tier 3. In Tier 3, we're talking about words that only show up in one subject. An example of a Tier 3 word would be Ohm's Law. I would only ever think of hearing Ohm's Law in a physics class. So that's a content area specific piece of vocabulary. Now, to help you wrap your mind around these three tiers, I have an example. I have a paragraph that I took from a New York Times article, and I labeled every word in the article based on its tier. The green that you see that is most of the words in here is Tier 1. The blue is Tier 3. And then this teal color here is Tier 2. So if you take a look through this paragraph, look closely up in the trees of A. Those are all spoken vocabulary words. Shade-grown cacao. I highlighted that as Tier 3, content area specific, because I wouldn't expect to hear it in any other class than a science class, a biology class. And then it ends with the word plantation. Now, plantation is a word that I could see in more than one class. And plantation is definitely a word that has more than one meaning and that I would not use regularly in spoken conversation. So that's a Tier 2. In Eastern, and then Costa Rica is a proper noun, so I left it alone. More green, and you'll see on array, Tier 2 word. Don't use it in conversation very much at all, but I do see it in reading quite a bit, of small furry faces. Peering. Now, peering is going to help me make a point. These tiers are fluid and flexible. Someone might disagree with someone else on what belongs in what tier. The word peering, I wasn't actually sure if I should put it in Tier 1 or Tier 2. I settled on Tier 2. And I could be persuaded the other way. The point is, these aren't hard and fast barriers, and you're not wrong or right, and there's no need to argue with your colleagues about where something fits. Back at you, those are three-toed sloths. Again, that's another one where, you might hear about a three-toed sloth somewhere else, but I made it content area specific. That make their homes there. Clambering. Tier 2. Not specific to science, but a word that I don't speak very often. Ever so slowly into the upper branches to bask. Same thing. Don't speak it very often. Do read it very often though, so I put that into Tier 2. In the morning sun, you might also spot them munching. Munching is a barrier. Munching could be Tier 1 or Tier 2. I don't know. On leaves from the... Get this black box out of the way. Oops. Guaramo is the last word there. Guaramo tree, which shades the cacao plant. So again, Guaramo I highlighted in blue. I actually don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly in this video. I've never seen it before. It is definitely content area specific. Which shade's the cacao plant? That's another cacao content area specific word. So that's how I break down those 3 tiers. I hope this video helped you understand what we mean when we talk about tiered vocabulary. Those are the 3 groups. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you'd like me to clarify anything. Thank you for watching.